Hey, what's happening to you? I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. I hope you shot a lot of shit off. But anyway, hey, this is us on Smash Bros. Radio, the only award winning digital radio station located where? Birmingham, Alabama, of course. Don't be surprised. We got a good shit together. Hey, we're going to talk about what does a quotation mean? Do the right thing. Is it a cliche? Does it actually have meaning? Does it actually have substance? Does it have any type of validity? Because people like to throw away or throw around some quotations and all to evoke your feelings and emotions. But anyway, if you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to Smash Bros. Radio. You can find this on Instagram. You can find this on TikTok, Facebook, and also YouTube. Also, we have an app. Please download our app, and then you can take us everywhere you want to go. You can find us on the App Store as well as Google. So please like, follow, share, and download our app so that way you can hear us. You can take us everywhere you want to take us. Appreciate you. As for OZZz, you can find me. Man, can you find me? You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube. I'm trying to build up my, what's the word? I would say clientele. Followers. I'm trying to build up my followers on YouTube so that way I'll be able to go live. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe to Smash Bros. Radio as well as OZZz. We will deeply appreciate you. Also, Smash Bros. Radio was created 5 years ago by Ralph Mobley and his brother OT. It was for the independent artist. Those who are in the music industry understands and know that sometimes independent artists are not do not have the same type of luxuries and privileges that those who have contracts and stuff do. So Smash Bros. Radio provides that platform to the independent artist, which comes into mind. If you have not done so, let me tell you, there is a fantastic, and it all sounds like cliches, but you have to listen to her to understand. She reminds me of an early Missy Elliott in that she has that fire, she has that flair, she has that eeriness, that uniqueness, that what's the word? She's just damn fantastic. So if you have not done so, please look up Nina Chanel. Nina Chanel, she has a lot of songs out there. Please look her up. She is fantastic. Fantastic. Plus, too, she's beautiful, too. And she's my favorite crush. So please, if you have not done so, check out Nina Chanel. Fantastic. She's bringing something new to the platform, to the music industry. And she's just fantastic. So check her out, Nina Chanel. Also, we're into our 7th month, which means we're getting close to the end of the year. If you are looking to do a sponsorship, to be a benefactor, to do volunteerism, or to even donate, there are several organizations out there that are always constantly looking for support. You have Ties to Success, and one uniqueness about Ties to Success, they collect ties, and they give the ties to the mentees, and they teach the boys how to tie the ties. And those who understand that when you're young and you don't own ownership, or you don't own a certain article of apparel, when you own that tie means something to you. So KD Dunn has done a fantastic job with Ties to Success. That's Ties, TIES, the numeral 2, success. So if you have any ties, now I know beggars can't be choosers, but these ties are given to young men, young boys who are getting out there, and so we don't want your throwaways. We do not want your throwaways. So do not waste our time, and please, we do not wish to waste your time either. But if you know, if you have some type of connection to an men's apparel shop, please see if you can get some ties donated to Ties to Success. Uh, Katie Dunn is the creator, the father of Ties to Success. So check them out. Also, you have C4, which is a fantastic organization. They do suits. They start in middle school and go through high school, and then once the mentees reach high school, they give the boys a suit. Now, let me tell you, from having a tie and to actually receiving a suit, man, especially for a young man reaching, just getting graduating from high school, to actually have a suit that you can do interviews with. So they have several projects. They take the guys on field trips or overnight trips or weekend trips or whatever. Even when they do trips, they go out of town, out of state. And so also they give the seniors suits. So please check Ties to Success as well as C4. And let me see. Because I need to make sure that I get everybody here. Then you have the Men's Project. It's pulling up now. I should have had it up. I apologize to you. The Man's Project, Influence Today for a Better Tomorrow. They do an annual camping trip. And so if you'd be surprised at how it doesn't take that much to show appreciation to these guys. You'd be surprised at how much just getting a tie, much less a suit, and then taking on to a camping trip, that it adds so much to these guys, to these young men, young boys' lives to be able to do this. And for these elders to take the time out of their lives to give back to the community, that says something. That just says something fantastic. Also, if you have an athlete, if you have a boy or girl that you would like to get into dance, Ursula Smith Company is a fantastic dance company that you need to check out. She has the brown sugar nutcracker that's done annually in December. So if you have not participated, if you have not seen it, you need to make sure that you see it. It is fantastic. Ursula has done a fantastic job with creating, and so please check her out. Also, there is B Birmingham. Let me check. Let me see. Uh, Be a Blessing Birmingham. Also, Be a Blessing Birmingham has, they're always collecting articles of clothing for the homelessness. Star Rob is the creator, the founder, the mother of that. So please, so you have Be a Blessing Birmingham, you have Ties to Success, you have C4, you have Men's Project and Influence. So please check them out. Uh, like, give some type of donation if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to be a mentee or mentor. They're always searching. So please check the organizations out, and we appreciate you. So we have all these cliches flying around, and there's just, it's really mind blowing with the condition that we are going through. There is a court case that has hit. Let me see if I can get it. Arnold versus Kemp. Arnold versus Kemp. I'm going to let you listen to it.
Explain to you how this lawsuit is not like any other lawsuit that has been filed in the history of the United States. In the Northern District Federal Court of Georgia, a Georgia man has alleged that state officials charged with investigating criminal offenses violated his constitutional rights by persistently ignoring sworn formal complaints alleging probable cause of state created danger. But that is not all. He has alleged that these public servants breached their legal duties and obligations under our social compact in their refusing to provide protection to his person and liberties. Now, before I proceed further, I want to first direct your attention to the Georgia Constitution of 1861, which the following words were described, and I quote, "A government which knowingly and persistently denies, withholds from the governed such protection, when within its power, releases the people from the obligation of obedience." Now, are you ready for this? This is precisely what this federal plaintiff has alleged, that he is no longer obligated to remain obedient to the laws of Georgia, at least until such breach of the social compact is cured. But this gets better. This federal plaintiff has also alleged that state and federal judges breached the social compact in which we the people are beneficiaries under the Constitution. He has alleged that he, as a beneficiary of the Constitution, has an enforceable right to sue judicial actors for the breach of their legal obligations pursuant to contract law. For all the non-attorneys watching, let me try to explain what this specifically means. It means that this case could in fact become the pinnacle of where all claims alleging judicial immunity of state judges have no power against the obligations of contract, ending judicial immunity for all judges across the United States of America. Absolutely historic. We all can agree that the climate of our nation is changing ever more for the worse, and what this case has the potential of proving could quite literally save our country in its ensuring that our public servants take their oaths of office seriously. I can confidently say that right now, this Georgia man represents all of us across America. To you watching, this is why your help right now is most greatly needed. There is a link in the description.
So see, because of the condition in which we are under, because of what is happening in the courts, and especially what is happening in the Supreme Court. At one time, the judges had immunity against suits. So now that statute, that canon, is being challenged, because if they're not fulfilling their obligation under the social contract, and they have failed to fulfill their obligations, well, then as a citizen, I do not have to follow what you say until you have corrected a situation, an issue. Because see, that is where we are now. That is where we are now. So when you say do the right thing, what is that? What exactly does that mean? Do the right thing. Now, I'm 63 years young. When I was told you better do the right thing, I knew the definition of doing the right thing. There was no question about what the elders in the family was telling me to do. Do the right thing. Do the right thing, or there are going to be consequences for you not doing the right thing. Doing the right thing was correcting your situation. So if I did something wrong and they say do the right thing, that meant that you better backtrack, you better rethink, you better modify, and you better come correctly. That's what do the right thing was back then in the 60s when I was raised. And so we knew the meanings. We knew exactly we knew what that meant. We knew what do unto others as you would have others do unto you. We understood that. There was no misunderstanding, no misinterpretation, no miscommunication, whatever. We knew what that meant. But nowadays, when people ask or say, do the right thing, it seems as if the individuals who have certain positions or certain power, certain privileges, they don't understand the significance of do the right thing. See, that's why it is a necessity. That is why it is beneficial for there to be some type of uniformity, some type of unity, some type of camaraderie, or whatever word, or togetherness. Because when you look at the United States, there is no united in the United States. There are fragments, remnants, fractures in the states. When the Supreme Court has backtracked on all the previous reviews, opinions, when they have backtracked and have thrown out what was a legacy, then questions come to mind. Do the justices even know what they pledged their support? Do they remember the oath that they gave to their office, to their position? Because see, there are canons, there are rules and regulations in which all judges and lawyers have to follow. Now that is universal. That is straight across the United States. There's an oath, same way when it comes to the doctors. There's an oath when it comes to the teachers. There is an oath that you have to give, that you understand, do the right thing. So see, that's when there has to be some type of unity, some type of guidelines through the 50 states and territories. Abortion should be uniformity. But now you have where you have the Democrat states, those states that are ruled by the Democrats, in which you have the privilege of having an abortion. And then you have those states that are ruled by the Republican Party that basically are dictators and traitors that are telling a woman what she can do with her body. So see, there's no uniformity. There's no type of unity when it comes to the laws. Now, there are certain laws that each state has a right to have for their state, because each state is different in its entity, is different in its climate. But when you have a united front, when you have United States, there has to be some type of unity between the laws that the federal government has control over. Abortion is one form that should be uniform throughout the states. And states still, and see, we still go back. And, I was thinking that when I retired in 2013, I wouldn't have to, I could stop teaching history, stop teaching government, stop thinking, period. But I'm seeing now to where I am subconsciously going back and trying to get people to understand your way of thinking is not really correct. It's fucked up. Because, see, the question of state rights have always been, since the earliest beginning, since its origin, 13 colonies, the Confederacy, state rights. States do have certain rights that are given to them that pertain to their state. But there are federal guidelines, federal standards that have to be followed. Because if you're going to be united, well, then you have to have some type of congruency, some type of glue when it comes to the interstate. There has to be rules and regulations. And each state, pretty much other 50 states, have the same. When you see a red light, that means you're asked to stop. When you see a yellow light, that means that you're supposed to slow down and stop. But some of us go through it. And of course, when you see the green light, that means to go. If you don't understand the significance of that simplistic law, well, then you need to go to YouTube and look, because there are some countries that do not have that traffic light mentality. And it's a wonder they do not have more wrecks or any wrecks, period, because there is no type of flow. There's no type of order. So when you say do the right thing, post Trump, there's no substance in do the right thing. People are not going to do the right thing. Do they actually know what the right thing is? Is it a cliche? Or are you saying that to create emotions, evoke emotions? Because most of us, once our emotions become involved, our way of thinking is clouded. And instead of sitting back and being rational, we go with our emotions. So what exactly does do the right thing? I'm so tired of people saying do the right thing. Tell them what the right thing is. Don't go on the premise that they're going to understand, because they don't understand do the right thing. And what is your interpretation? What is your perspective? Do the right thing. You see, we are dealing with idiots. We're dealing with idiots. We're dealing with individuals who are mentally ill, from my personal opinion. You're banning books. You don't like certain books. You're trying to create a curriculum that is half truth, that tells lies, that have erased history, that you don't want taught. And I don't. From an educated standpoint, I don't understand. I don't understand. I you If you do not wish for your child to read a certain book, but then that's your privilege as a parent. And see, that's another issue that we have: parents' rights. And a parent does have rights. A parent has a right to choose what their child learns, but not at the expense of any other child. If your child attends a public education, well, that's why it's called public education, because it's public, it's not private, it's not parochial, it's public. And public education is a mirror of society. So the bottom line is, if society is fucked up, then our educational system is fucked up. And then you have this group, mothers for whatever, that, and you oh boy. As I have mentioned numerous times before, the backbone, the bloodline, the strength of white supremacy is a white female. Let me say that again. The white female is, are the roots. The white female, the white women, the mutants are the roots of white supremacy. They are the roots. They are the bloodline. They are the backbone to white supremacy. And as I've mentioned numerous times before, the white female is the only group that is most protected and guarded. And we've had examples, we've experienced these mutants, these female mutants. And don't be shocked when I use the word mutant, because scientists have stated that the white race or the white culture, that's the mentality. See, I caught that quickly. It's not the white race, because remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race. So the white culture are mutants. because we have no pigmentation. And throughout nature, when you see animals that do not have pigmentation, they're mutants. And we're mutants. I'm a mutant. Now, the only reason why I have color to my skin is because I got tired of my friends telling me, because I have a membership to Planet Fitness, and there's some sun tanning salon, whatever. They kept saying, but you paying for that service, why don't you use it? See, I don't have a problem with being white. I don't have a problem, but I got tired. And plus, too, I look better with color on my skin. I have to be perfectly honest. Now, I don't mind being white as a sheet or white as a ghost, because my main thing is, if God wanted me to have pigmentation, he would have given me pigmentation. So, see, I don't have a problem with being white. I just look damn good having color to my skin. And plus, too, when you have friends for over 40-something years, they really get on your nerves. So that's why I started tanning. I don't do the beach. I don't lay out. When I was over in the condos and all, and I was over there for 20 plus years, I was only in that pool maybe 4 or 5 times in the 20-something years that I was there. I was not going to lay out. I was not going to get into those sexual positions, those weird positions where my legs are wide apart and I'm trying to get all aspects, all crevices in the sun. I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to do yoga. I wasn't going to be a lobster, and then all of a sudden I become a lobster. I get sunburned, and then I peel like a snake, and then I turn brown, and then I'm back white. See, I wasn't into that. I wasn't into that cycle. Do the right thing. My definition of doing the right thing is that there's a separation of church and state. And if you do not understand that premise, and then two, if you are in your 50s and 60s, let's say, let's make this as simplistic as possible. Let's make this elementary. If you are in your 60s, we were taught Alabama history, or you would here in Alabama, we were taught Alabama history, and we were taught civics in the elementary and junior high school. We had civics classes, believe it or not. And then once you got to high school, then you had government classes and economic classes. So see, we were taught that. But see, I'm the class of 78. Sex is fun, pot is great. We're the class of 78. Of course, I never did pot and I never had sex. Okay, I'm delusional. But anyway, the point is, we were taught. Now, since I graduated in 78, if I did not go to college, or if I did not do any extended education, most of the time I've never read the Constitution. So those of us in our 60s, if we read the Constitution, we have forgotten what the Constitution says, or we've never read it. And then if you have not studied the Federalist Papers and the Anti-Federalist Papers, well, then you don't really understand exactly what the Founding Fathers were talking about, because you would be totally surprised to find out that the Founding Fathers did not have any type of did not want education to be involved. So you need to get the Federalist Papers, and then you need to find out who the Federalist people were, because if you don't remember your history, when the Constitution was being written, and see, here I go with this thing. When the Constitution was being written, you had two groups. You had the Federalist, you had the Anti-Federalist. You had a group who believed in the Constitution. You had the other group that believed in states' rights. And so they had to come up with some type of compromise, especially when it came to the branches of government. Because of those two groups, the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist, that's why you have two chambers or two houses in Congress. you have the House of Representatives, and then you have the Senate. Now, see, back during my day when you said Congress, you were referring to both houses. So, see, you had the representatives that serves 4 years, and it's based on the population of the states, depends on the number of delegates or representatives that they have. Alabama has 7 delegates. They have 7 Congress people. And there are some states that have more representatives than others. And then you have the Senate, which serves 6 years. And there's a reason why they serve 6 years, and there's a reason why the House or the Congress, the House, serves 4 years. See, the founding fathers came up with this. It was a compromise. Well, see, we've gotten away from that because we have idiots who say, "Well, this not my it's my constitutional right." Well, what is your constitutional right? Where is that? And your interpretation of the 10 amendments, which are called the Bill of Rights. And what are the Bill of Rights? What are the 10 amendments? What are the 10 amendments? What are the significance of those 10 amendments? And what was the founding fathers' interpretation of those 10 amendments? Because, see, we've gotten away from the actual meaning of what the founding fathers was when it came to writing the Bill of Rights. So, see, that's where most of the problem comes from, because you state that that's your constitutional right. What? Okay, tell me. You don't know. So when you says do the right thing, my definition of do the right thing, you provide places, precincts in which you allow voters to go to. You make it easy for them instead of difficult for them to vote. Do the right thing means that you have an equal playing field. You have equity. Straight across the board. So you have the Supreme Court that did away and gave the states rights to decide about abortion, and then they do away with affirmative action. Because there's not an equal playing field. There's no equity. And then you have that case in which this web designer, which is totally a forest, which is not legit. And then you have this organization, this foundation that brought this suit. And this organization, this foundation, has paid the Barrett to come and speak because there's a conflict of interest. This has never happened per se to the Supreme Court. Now understand, history dictates we've always had some type of problem, some type of issue, some type of concern when it comes to the Supreme Court. This is not brand new. This is a different type of concern. Do the right thing means that when it comes to the citizenry of the United States, everyone has equity. Everyone is playing on the same level. But see, the individuals have not really thought ahead because they did not understand the substance of the affirmative action. So now you have groups that are challenging the legacies of these Ivy League schools. Because just because you went to Harvard does not mean that you were smart enough to go to Harvard in most cases, especially if you were a mutant, because your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, you are a legacy, and because of them giving money to endowments to the school, the school feels entitled or indebted to allow you. And there have been several individuals who have Harvard degrees and are as stupid as a doorknob. But because of legacy position or legacy privilege, they were allowed in. So do the what? Oh, it makes my head hurt. So do the right thing. What does that actually mean, people? What does that actually mean? Because people are not going to do the right thing. Larger corporations do not care in most cases about the environment. Their bottom line is the money or the finances or the revenue that is generated. They don't care about environmental protections. They don't care about climate change. They're not going to do what is right. They don't care. These fast food establishments, if you were to go overseas, you would find out that the ingredients that they use overseas, over the lake, over the pond, are totally different than the ingredients that they use here. Because over in Europe, they do not allow certain substances and additives, certain ingredients to be added to the product, to the merchandise. It has a different taste. Things that we eat here, they're not allowed over in Europe because of the ingredients. So you're going to do the right thing, but you have two ingredients. So you cook differently over in Europe than you do here because you're allowed to do it here because you're not doing the right thing because you are basically bribing the legislators. Coal should have been outlawed a long time ago because of its admissions. Because, see, you can educate those coal miners so that way they can get a job. But, see, you're not going to do the right thing. That's why the elective officials go in at a certain social economic level and then leave at a higher. Because they're being bribed. They're taking bribes. Same way with when it comes to the pharmaceuticals. Those same pharmaceutical companies are regulated in Canada, but they produce the same medicine, but it's cheaper because they have to do the right thing. People are not going to do the right thing. Do the right thing means to me, you're going to elect those individuals who have knowledge, who are qualified for the position, and are not legacies to a position. What I call name brands. Because we have name brands in our city council. Name brands, my definition of name brands, are those individuals in whom their family members were active in the community, were activists. Have a stellar reputation in the community, but these name brand people, they do not have the same type of substance, nor receipts, nor dedication. So we just, well, because your daddy and your mama were fantastic, well, you have to be. That's lies. Or because of your grandparents or your great granddaddy and your daddy and your because they were preachers, well, then you have to be a good preacher. No, because we know that you're a whole. We know that you did no type of involvement when it came to the community, much less your district, but yet you were elected because of your legacy, because of your family. You did not have the receipts to hold that position. So to me, do the right thing means that you elect those individuals who have the receipts, who have been actively participating in the community and district, knows the issues, know the concerns, know the problems, and have the solutions. That's what do the right thing to me means. Or when you have a mayor who, there are two camps. There are two camps here in Birmingham, what I call two camps. You have four mayors. You have two camps. On one side, you have Mayor Arrington and Mayor Langford. On the other side, you have Mayor Bell and Kincaid. Arrington and Langford understood. They knew the assignment. Arrington knew the assignment in that those tracts of land that were surrounding the racist communities or racist municipalities, such as, you have to forgive me because I have nicknames for everybody. Hoover, I call the plantation, and these are the individuals over the mountain. Hoover, I call the plantation. Vestavia, I call the old lady or the bitch. Mountain Brook and Homewood, I call the twins. That's what I just do. Now, Hoover, the plantation, is a flagship of racism. So Arrington knew the tracts of land that surrounded, that engulfed these communities, and he bought those tracts of land to block their expansion. So see, Hoover cannot expand, Vestavia cannot expand, the twins cannot expand. So they relied totally on taxes. Now, mostly sales tax and property tax. So see, the plantation, the bitch, the twins, they have to have certain corporations or certain businesses to come in because of the property tax. Sales tax is pretty good. So see, then it goes back to do the right thing. To me, the definition of do the right thing is, since you know that the plantation is the flagship of racist municipality, you stop patronizing them. You stop shopping with them. Because, see, the sales tax goes to the maintenance of the municipality. So if you stop patronizing, you stop buying over there, it's only going to take 3 months, 6 months really will do the job, because once the revenue has stopped and they're not generating the money that they're supposed to. Remember when EJ was murdered, because of not shopping over there, those businesses were having a fit. And then you had these white preachers come out talking about unity. Motherfuckers, you didn't think about unity before now. And then all of a sudden you have these black preachers joining with these little motherfuckers who want to talk about unity. But see, once the issue was solved, the white preachers slithered back into their crevices. And that left the black preachers. There was no togetherness. So to me, doing the right thing means that you're preaching every day about unity, and not just because of a crisis, because it's affecting the pockets. See, the only way that you can deal with mutants is hitting them in the pocket. And I keep on telling you, the only way that you're going to get what you want without really suffering, hit them in the pocket. Stop patronizing them. Stop shopping them. Go to the less racist. Because, see, once you hit the flagship of the racist municipalities, then those other racist municipalities are going to wake up. Because, see, you have Fultondale. No, you got Gardendale. Yeah, and Fultondale, which I call the wannabes. So, see, once you hit Hoover, the plantation, and you have demonstrated exactly that we're going to put you out of business, then see, the others are going to get in line reluctantly. But as long as they get in line, what do we care? So see, do the right thing means you understand the assignment and you fulfill the assignment. But don't come up here bitching because of what's happening, because you did not understand the assignment. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing the right thing. Because you are as much as blame as what the mutants are. And I'm being honest with you. Do the right thing means that you are working the assignment. You are fulfilling your obligation when it comes to unity, when it comes to transparency. Do the right thing is when the Supreme Court justices quit going to these racist foundations and speaking. You've lost your integrity. You've lost your substance. You have lost your foundation. You are a joke. And just like this lawsuit that is being filed in Georgia, your immunity is being challenged now because you have not filled the social contract. Common sense, we don't have common sense any longer. Unfortunately, we don't. We don't have common sense anymore. We don't have boundaries anymore. And perspectives are basically whipping our asses because we don't understand do the right thing. We don't understand. What does that mean, do the right thing? Tell me, when it comes to this situation and the circumstance, tell me what do the right thing is. What do you want me to do? What is the right thing to do? The right thing to do, that the police, that cop that threw the lady on the ground that had cancer, you need to fire him. You need to bring charges against him, not the city, against him. To do the right thing is you check these Karens and you let these mutant females understand you may pretend to be crazy, but I'm going to show you what crazy is. And see, we need to get to the point to where we start calling these individuals out. You stupid. I understand. I do not condone violence. No one should ever put their hands on anybody. If I feel threatened and an individual doesn't understand, you need to step back, and they advance toward, well, you deserve everything you rightfully get. Because I'm going to use you like a rope, and we're going to play rodeo. Call them out. And the thing that is most frightening, the white racists, the white supremacists are no longer these cartoon type white folks, these mutants, fat, sweaty, nasty. These are professionals. They wear ties. They are educated. They know how to think. See, that's why I keep telling you, racism is a mental illness. Racism is a mental illness. There's only one race, and that's a human race. And in that race, there are cultures. But there's only one race, the human race. That cop would not have thrown a white woman down like he did that black lady. He would not. And there's evidence. When EJ was shot over the Galleria, the most venomous, the most malicious, the most horrendous statements and comments that were written by white females. Do the right thing means that you understand exactly what environment your children are going to. Because, see, everything white is not always right. Let me say that again. Everything white is not always right. And it's funny that when you take your child out of a black school system those same rules and regulations that are applied in the white, you say nothing about. You do not challenge, but you were challenging those same rules and regulations over in the black school district, but you say nothing to the white folks. Do you actually know what your child is going through in that white environment? Do you actually know? Because see, while they're smiling in your face, they're calling you all those words. And then on top of that, how come the military institutions still have to do what is it? Not affordable care. Totally. See, that's what happens when your emotions get involved. Affirmative action. How come the military doesn't have to? How come they have to follow the affirmative action, but colleges and universities don't? But yet, these colleges and universities will have your child to play sports. So who's a slave? Who's making money off of your child? Now, I went to Alabama State, a HBCU. I went to Alabama State University. I have a bachelor's of science in secondary education, social sciences. I have a bachelor's of art in social work. I have my master's from state. 3 degrees, BS, BA, master's. But guess what? I took my mutant ass to a mutant school. I have an EDS. I have a certificate for administration. And I have an EDD from a public, PB, a white school. See, no matter where I graduated from, I will always support Alabama State University. That's why I will always have an Alabama State car tag. Do the right thing is to give back to the university that helped you. Because see, when you pledge a black fraternity or black sorority, you are in there constantly, and you're more active in most cases when you go to grad chapter. But see, it's an extension. Whereas in the white schools, if you pledge to white Greeks, you only active during that time that you're in the university. But with the black Greeks and all, you're active throughout your years until you die. I pledged a black fraternity. I didn't cross because, one, I did not have the security. I didn't have the confidence. But I understood the significance. Do the right thing. Give back to the university. If you can give so much money to your fraternity and your sorority, you can give an endowment to your school. That's why I'm trying to establish a foundation. I'm trying to locate investors that will help me to establish this foundation so that way I can generate 2 professor or 2 scholars chairs, one in the memory of Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, who was the first female administrator over at Alabama State, Dean of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Levi Watkins hired her personally. So Dr. Eunice Warren Moore, I want a chair for the College of Arts and Sciences. And I want a chair for the School of Business for Dr. Percy Vine, to have enough of money so that way these scholars can come to state and teach. I want a foundation to set up so that way if you are in art, or if you're in the theater, if you're a cheerleader, if you're a teacher, but then there's money for you, because I think that as a teacher, that instead of doing your student teaching for one semester, you should have enough of money that you go the full year. So when you do when you do your student teaching in the beginning, you just know how to open the school, but you don't know how to close the school, and vice versa. So I think that you should have an internship in that you know how to open and you know how to close a school. I want a scholarship for the teachers. I want a scholarship for the cheerleaders, because I was the first mascot for Alabama State. And I want a scholarship for the theater, because State has a fantastic theater department. So I want to give back to the school, because I am what I am because of Alabama State University, an HBCU school. Because, see, State laid the foundation for me to get my EDS, for me to get my certification in administration, for me to get my EDD. State gave me the foundation. I lacked in nothing. So do the right thing. What is your interpretation? Because right now, people don't know, people are not going to do the right thing because they don't care. So, Wednesday, hump day. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for coming in. Sure do. Smash Bros Radio, the only award-winning digital radio station in Birmingham, Alabama, Jefferson County. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook. Also, download our app, please. You can find us on Google as well as the Apple Store. I'm Oz, your Dutch uncle. And you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Like, follow, share, subscribe. I appreciate you. You don't know how much I appreciate you. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are the one that has everything to control when it comes to you. Everything is in your hands. That's how you handle it. I will see you Friday. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. Y'all take care. Be safe. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the show.